Hey everyone, it's Keely here for Soy and Shea, and thank you so much for joining me for today's soap making video. I always try to have a couple of exfoliating soaps in my range, and over Christmas I did run out of a poppy seed one, and I've had a number of requests to remake it. So today I'm going to do that. I'm also going to try out a new design sort of concept, something I see other people doing but have always struggled to do because I've never had the right tools to do it with. But now that I have the right bits to complete the design, I'm going to give it a go with my poppy seed exfoliating soap. So let's go and see how I make it. Alright, so let's get into doing a bit of soaping. We have got some beautiful temperatures at the moment. It is only about 22, 23 degrees. The humidity's still up there, so it's keeping it quite warm actually, but it's cool enough and less humid enough that I can actually soap. The only payoff, you probably can hear it, is that we have got a lot of rain hanging around at the moment, and it's kind of a payoff. Do I want to have nice playing soaps with rain in my video, or do I want to have very naughty looking soaps with no rain in the video or no background noise? And I decided that we were going to have a little bit of rain noise, so I may actually be putting a fair bit of music to this video depending upon how loud it is. So let me get my lye mixed into my oils, and then we'll split it up and start doing some layers and colours. Right, so because I am going to work in layers today, I've only literally just pulsed that a little bit to make sure that it stays nice and fluid while I work on all of the sort of colours I want to do. What I'm going to do is pour off a good portion into this jug here. That should be enough in there. I am going to put into this one some marigold mica. I love this one. It's in the pot. It's got this beautiful gold sheen to it as well, and it comes out such a lovely colour in soap. So I'm going to put a bit of that in there, and going to mix my colour in, and then I'm going to add in my fragrance, which is lemongrass and ginger, and it's got notes of lemongrass, orange blossom, ginger, eucalyptus, rosewood, and it says herbal, whatever that might be, and there is no vanillin in this, so we shouldn't get any problems with discolouring. So I wasn't too bothered if this thickens up on me, which is why I actually stick blended my fragrance in, because I do find it actually goes into the soap a lot better if you do stick blend the fragrance in there, and also gets those colours nicely dispersed. As I said, we're going to do layers, so I'm not too bothered that this is a little bit thicker, because that means we don't have to wait too long between layers. What I am going to do in this layer, I have got some poppy seeds. I'm going to put about half of what I've got in my bowl in there, mix them through, and then we're going to go and grab the mould. For a long time I have wanted to create a layered soap that have got angles, but every time I try and use it where I prop it up on some towels and stuff, I find my mould slips, I don't get the angles, and then I move it to go and do something else and I lose the angle. What I did is I jumped onto Wickedly Goods and I purchased her little angle mould shelf things. I've got all 4 of the sort of angles, but today I'm going to use the 25-degree angles. All I'm going to do is pop it under my mould, and that gives me a perfect 25-degree angle to pour my soap at, and it doesn't matter where I move this mould to now, I'm going to be able to keep that same angle on here. So really pleased I finally get to have a go at doing a soap that has got a beautiful angle on it. I am absolutely loving that colour. I'm just going to give that a bit of a wiggle just to make sure that is nice and even. And then I'm going to leave it there, and I want it to set up a little bit. And what I'm going to do while waiting for it to set up is I'm going to mix my next layer of colour. And once it's firm enough, I will then pour this black over the top, and then we will get to mixing the rest of the bucket. think I was just being super impatient then. I've had so many sort of accelerating soaps that I'm so worried I'm going to miss sort of the time to do stuff, so I think I just got very, very impatient then. But that is all on, and I don't think it's sunk through. What I did decide while I was doing that is I'm going to give this a really good dusting with some of the that marigold mica, just to create a microline in here. That should also help it set up a little bit as well. So for my final layer, I have put in some Shamrock Shimmer. We're going to pour in the rest of those poppy seeds, give it a mix, and then we're going to pour it on the top of this bit. But first of all, I'll actually straighten that mold up so I don't end up with it spilling everywhere. On the camera, I have got a little Louis the Fly flying around, and he's really, really annoying me because he's just one and he's fast and he just keeps flying straight over the top of the soap, and he's just flown smack bang into the wall and I heard him go thud. He's recovered and he's now flying around again, but that was just the funniest thing. Okay, so there it is. I'm going to leave this soap very simple like so, because most people that actually want this soap, the poppy seed one, are actually wanting it for the exfoliating properties and aren't very interested in all the pretty decorative ones that go on all my other soaps. So I'm going to leave this one nice and plain and simple, and then allow the pattern inside to speak for itself. So I'm going to leave this one sit overnight, and then we'll be back very shortly and see if I've managed to get my really nice diagonal layers in this one. Let's cut into our lemongrass and ginger soap. It is smelling super strong in here as well, which I was surprised about because being lemongrass, being one of those sort of low flash point fragrances, I'm surprised that it smells so strong, but I get a lot of that ginger sort of notes coming through on here. Gonna get cut through. It's gonna be very plain and simple on the inside with those layers. But like I said, I've never been able to do layers like this before, so it's going to be really good for me to actually see almost all the way through. And let's take a look. Okay, so let's take a look in here. It's going to be very plain and simple, and there it is. Really love how these colours are popped. This green, this shamrock green, is amazing. It just goes that really khaki brown colour when it's saponifying, but once it's gone through its process, it comes up beautiful and green. It is meant to be one of those synthetic micas, but I don't get as much shine out of it as I do, say, the Blizzard mica and the Extravagance Gold, but it is nice and bright and vibrant. And that pencil line in there with that marigold mica that I used, it is absolutely stunning and just brings it all together there. So as I said, this soap is mainly for those people who do want to have that exfoliating bar. They don't tend to want all the pretty bits on the top, they just want those poppy seeds on the inside. But I'm so stoked that I finally got to have a go at creating these angled layers without having to worry whether or not I got the exact angle each and every time I did a new layer. So if you are interested in grabbing yourself some of those angle tools for your soap mold, go and check out Wickedly Goods. As you see, my soap mold is really quite long and they work perfectly on that one. She uses a smaller soap mold than what I do, and they would work on hers as well. So her little tools do work on all sorts of soap molds there. So go and check her out. So that is it for the lemongrass and ginger tea. I hope you've enjoyed watching how I did this one. If you did, why not leave me a thumbs up and any comments down below. And until the next video comes out, I hope you have a great one, and I'll see you then. Bye.